MMAOddsBreaker, welcome back. Frank Trigg. Today we're talking to Joe Vedepo. Get ready. Actually, he's getting ready to battle against Davin Clark, but I'm actually less interested in that. As the fact that you're still at the gym. It's 7:30 at night, and I missed our time earlier today. It was supposed to be around 2 o'clock. And so you're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Let's do it later when I get done training. I hit you up at 7, and a couple minutes later you hit me back and go, look, I'm sorry, lost track of time. I was still drilling. I didn't realize that you're still. I knew you stayed there before, but I didn't realize that's what you do every training camp now. Is that you stay at Alliance Training Center? That you do an entire training camp there, and you live there the entire time.
Yep.
That's been going on for this. Is this your 4th camp doing that?
Yep.
How long do you stay each time? Is it a 12-week camp, a 10-week camp, a 6-week camp?
My first couple were both. Well, they've been progressively longer and longer. When I fought Kendall, I did 4 weeks here. I felt like it was a good move. The next camps were 6 and 7 weeks, and then this has been 10 weeks.
10 weeks, okay. It's not wearing on you being in the place you eat, sleep, shower, train. It's not driving you nuts?
It has its moments where you get a little off, but I like San Diego. I do a little bit of sightseeing, but I like the people here, and I do best when I'm fully absorbed.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. You know, there's that sense of if you go home to your own bed and your own TV and you get too soft. Like you got to be kind of dialed in the entire time. With the Kendall fight, it didn't work. You lost that fight, but you said it was only 4 weeks. Since then, with Crowder and with Coleman, it worked decisively well. Obviously, with Crowder, he TKO'd him. He had a leg injury, and then majority decision against Coleman. Do you feel like now that you've gotten your pattern, you've gotten your rhythm in Alliance, and now you're feeling more comfortable, and that's the reason why you're able to stay longer each time?
Yeah, well, that and George Castro made me. You know what I mean?
So no, I'm not comfortable. George just said I had to, so this is what I'm doing.
But I get more and more comfortable with the guys, and I know the facility. I know what's expected of me, and I kind of get into a groove. I'm not gonna lie, this has been the longest training camp of my life, but it's also what I wanted to have happen, and I believe in these guys. They believe in me, and if they ask me to do something, I'm inclined to do it because it works.
Now you've got a couple other teammates that are fighting on this card as well, right? At the same time.
Paul Bradley's the main event.
Okay. Now, has that been helping? Paul Bradley's fighting Josh Neer. Obviously, Joe's fighting Bellator 129 coming up here on October 17th. Has it helped having Paul being the main event, being in the room, to kind of keep you motivated on those days that you might be off a little bit?
Well, Paul's always motivated me because, he got to wrestle at Iowa and I didn't, and I've always looked up to the guy. He's got a lot of accolades that I wish I could have, but I got into making some bad decisions early on in my career and in my life, and it just, it cost me. But now being able to have him here with me, yeah, it's great.
Let's talk about your opponent, Davin Clark. Break him down. I know you've seen tape on him. I know you've been watching him, trying to pay attention to him. What do you think he's going to do differently than we've seen in any one of his other 6 fights? He's 5-1 for the folks at home that don't know, and of course Joe is 16-8.
What he's going to do differently, I couldn't tell you. He's had a long time off, long time to get better. He trains with some really good guys. And I haven't really been focused on what he's going to start doing better. I just expect to fight a really tough fight against a really game opponent. I train every fight. I'm not going to do anything different as opposed to if I was, fighting another Kendall Grove. I'm ready to fight wherever the fight goes. And, I have things that I've been wanting to improve on, and I work on those. And I'm sure he's got a lot of things that he's been working on to, and just getting to see who's best.
He's been off for a long time. His last fight, and help me if I'm wrong, because this is what I have in my notes. June 2012 was last time he fought. This is now October of 2014. So we're talking more than 2 years off since he's had his last competition. Is that the same number that you have as well?
Yeah, that is.
So We all talk about ring rust. We all talk about the anxiety of being put back in the big show. I mean, obviously it's a television card, so it's going to be a big deal for him to be on TV all of a sudden and be thrown into Bellator, and it's a a very very anxious kind of pressure kind of moment for him. Are you going to try to use that to your advantage?
Well, it definitely is going to play a factor, but I think that plays a factor with him. It doesn't factor into my preparation at all. You know what I mean? I have to be prepared myself. I've been in those situations before, and I can take from those experiences, and I can use that experience to my benefit. But, worrying about what my opponent's doing to prepare for me and prepare for their own anxiety, I can't. Who knows? Maybe he's just mentally, maybe he's got it. I don't know. I expect to fight a really, really tough fighter who trains with a bunch of world-class guys, and, he belongs there. If Bellator says that that's who I'm fighting, that's who I'm going to fight, and I'm going to get the best Joe Vedepo in that cage come fight night.
Joe, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the MMAOddsBreaker. This is going to be an interesting fight for me to see how you battle out against Clark, because there's such the anomaly of a guy that you haven't seen fight in 2 years. What's he been doing? Did he lay around for a year? Did he train that whole year and then train even harder the next year? Has he been doing nothing? It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of Clark comes out, because when he fought last, he was getting a lot better. But now with the 2 years off, you never know. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So,
Right.
Good luck, Joe. I appreciate you coming on here, and we'll talk to you later on, bud.
Okay, thanks, Frank.